Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to our year of adventure. Leaving the Blood and Dust module behind, we are now moving into Dark Harvest. I'm going to read the intro, and then we are going to get our players straight into it. And I will say this will not be 100% as written to account for things that have happened in-game. And again, since I'm now recording, the content warnings are human sacrifice and murder. Y'all's last job went badly. You know, y'all kind of exposed yourselves to some powerful people. You might have killed a couple hundred scholars.
No, not that big of a deal.
I wouldn't say we did.
Oh, we did. We're a family.
It wasn't a we
Play
situation.
The royal
together,
we.
together.
One of you might have a bit of a run-in with the morticians in their near future. And rather than leaving you to the wolves or tidying up loose ends in the normal ministry way, they've decided to show some mercy. You've been given passage out of the Spire to a small forested hamlet just outside, called simply the Grotto. You've been told to lie low and avoid trouble. It's idyllic. There's friendly locals, almost completely untouched by the aelfir occupation. Beautiful scenery. And you can spend your days eating well at your guest house, visiting the local pub, and watching preparations for an upcoming village festival. But about a week after you arrived, some city guard trekked out there. Windows of your guest house, you see Captain Destera.Two standing with the village ancient wooden hinge. He announces that the aelfir lord Galithar Weaves from Grass has disappeared from his nearby holiday residence, and that Labute will leave no stone unturned to find him. Since you're effectively hiding under one of those stones, that is going to be a problem. So, in the last week, y'all have had a pretty, run-of-the-mill day for a ministry agent, but also on the rougher side. Some friends of yours gave you each a little care package, and y'all took a very long trip out of the Vermissian, probably longer than almost any of you would have ever spent in it. And it led outside the Spire. Y'all have never been outside the Spire before. The trees are so thick and wooded here that you can still wander about during the day. It is late afternoon, and grab a name real quick. Madame Saint runs this little guest house, and they are in the pocket of the ministry. She comes down, she looks to you each. Well, ain't y'all in just a fine bit of pickled algae? Don't suppose any of y'all know what happened to the esteemed Labute, did you?
I can't really say for certain.
Not a clue.
Not ringing a bell.
Thankfully, we
Wait,
do not.
can I ask a clerical question?
Yes.
So, Hardin Labute is the investigator or the person who went missing?
Sorry, yes. Y'all, Labute is the investigator. I misspoke there.
Oh, you're fine, but who's
Yeah.
he looking for?
He is looking for, get the name correct, so I'm having to scroll back and forth for a second to do this. Galithar Weaves from Grass.
Galithar.
I will type it in chat since it's a longer name.
Got it.
And there was an extra A in there, I forgot.
You're fine.
there. Y'all would be passingly aware of Galithar. He runs some of the more well-known, like, farms within the Spire and around the Spire.
Mm-hmm.
Now-
He's not one of the gem people, right?
No. That is not why he is dead. Or presumably missing. Or whatever fate is befallen. It is not due to that.
Okay. Got it.
But you would know that he is in competition with some other elves in the Spire. Some high elves fighting for food production. Because he who controls the food controls the Spire. You would also know that food production has been waning slightly, just across the board. Algae farmers have produced less algae, wheat farms have brought in less wheat. But Madame Saint looks to each of you. I wish y'all luck over the next few days. I cannot keep the guards out of the house. What y'all choose to do is up to you. And if you need it, there's a gun above the fireplace.
Okay.
And with that, she wanders upstairs, closes the door, and the faint sound of a typewriter can be heard.
Coming from, like, we can assume she just went and started using a typewriter, or
Yes.
someone else?
You would assume it is her.
Okay. Alright, I think I know what she's about.
What is she about?
Typewriting, writing things, being an author of things with
Okay, well,
ink.
do we want the gun?
I would leave that up to you. I'm already equipped.
Do you think we should just leave it there in case we need it while we're in this room? Or we should bring it with us?
I feel like we should bring it with us, but you can take it, Cornelia.
Is it very heavy?
Roll me a d10.
Okay. Just regular? Like
Yeah, just
in
a
the
single
chat?
d10. Yeah, in chat. No, I want you to pull a physical d10 off your desk and roll it.
Oh. No, you know what I meant, like off of our
Oh, yeah, I
sheet.
know. Yeah, no. Sorry. As you roll it, you hear a distinct click. Or as you, like, pull it from the wall.
Yeah.
There was a pressure release switch.
Oh, you were trying to kill me!
No, because as you lift it, the switch depresses, and the bottom of the fireplace kind of lowers down into a small staircase.
Oh. I thought it was gonna shoot me.
It was rigged.
I really thought it was like rigged, and I died. Okay, so I still was able to take the gun though, right?
Yes, you have the gun.
And it was pretty light or heavy?
It feels of moderate weight. But,
Okay. I
You-
won't have any problem holding that.
Ori, you will recognize something looking at it from recent encounters.
Oh?
You know the metal that it is made of, this just comes to you, is the same metal the morticians make their scythe out of.
Okay.
Just, that strikes you as odd.
Orange.
I put it in my bag.
You said there was a set of stairs now?
Yes, in the fireplace going down.
Is it like straight down or is it a spiral?
It's pretty much straight down. There's a landing and a 90-degree turn to the left.
So can I see like down the stairs and like maybe a little bit around it?
To what you can see, there is a faint light at the bottom.
Interesting.
Should we go
Okay,
down
so-
there?
So can we not see because it's dark or because our view is obstructed?
Mostly because your view is obstructed.
Okay.
Drow
Maybe
have
we can
impeccable
go-
night vision.
Okay. maybe we can go down to like the landing part and then look down before we go all the way down.
Agreed.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'll tip your toe on there.
After you make it about 4 steps down or 5, the stairs start at the very top, retreat back up, concealing where you came from.
Is it too late to run back?
As you go back, the stairs come back down. It just hides itself once you start going down.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
We don't have to
Okay.
sprint. Let's go.
All right. So now that we're here, what do we see?
You get down, there's a single torch just flickering, or lantern, above a little dirt path. And there are about 12 different tunnels spiraling out in different directions from this room like a clock.
Well. Thoughts? Can we listen to see if we hear anything from any of the paths?
Oh yeah, you want to take a minute and listen?
Sure.
It's all hard surfaces, things reflect. But you think you hear the sounds of glasses clinking, conversation coming down one. From another, you hear what sounds to be a marital spat. From yet another, you hear the sound of a teacher admonishing students. From another, you hear the sounds of worship.
In this worship one, would it be worship of our glorious lady, or is it a different?
It is the worship that you wish you could do in the Spire. It is very fervent worship of the Lady of the Ministry.
Okay, great.
And you think you hear running water coming down one of the tunnels.
So, is it totally dark and we can't see down the tunnels?
They go farther than your eyes will let. Like, there's either a physical break in line of sight or just like
Okay.
you can't tell what's at the end. And I want to make a quick note of like mechanical clarification just for everyone. Even though you are outside of the physical spire, abilities that relate to the spire still work. Just maybe not how you expect.
Interesting.
All right, which one of those sounds interesting for us to go to? I won't lie to you. I'm really curious what that marital spat's about, but I know that's not the correct choice. But I am curious.
We can go.
Can we just peek our head towards
Yes.
that marital spout?
As you'll get closer, the sound of the couple fighting gets louder and louder. I know we don't have enough wheat to deliver to the aelfir. I am sorry that I cannot grow more crops. I have that much land. I have this many workers. I have this many hands. I can only do so much. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to just snap my fingers and produce money? Why, yes, that would be fantastic to just give us more money. Please. You know I can't. But your brother can. How dare you bring up my brother?
Oh,
I feel like we should probably go.
Oh my god, who's their brother? Okay. Oh, you don't want to hear any more?
It sounds like a lover spat, and
I want to...
I don't want to get involved.
It reaches a fevered pitch of screaming and shouting.
We're out of here.
He
Aloud,
shouldn't have brought the brother up. That's on him.
you hear a thud.
How heavy a thud?
Sack of potatoes heavy thud.
So...
Sack a husband thud?
I was gonna say like a body?
It's a thud.
Who got kept? Who was it?
Okay,
Can
I
we,
guess we're...
can we see anything? Can we
I
just
guess we're
peek a
going to
little
see.
more?
You're still underground. You're just like under the house.
Come on.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It wa-
As you get closer, there is a ladder.
Okay. Like, let's just peek a little bit.
Okay, you can get on the ladder and peek.
Okay,
Okay, I'm on the ladder. I'm prepared to die for the
Cornelia,
tea.
give me a stealth roll.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull. Oh God, I'm going to die tonight. Let me pull up my profile. And I'm Cornelia.
Yeah, sneak. Sorry, not stealth.
And-
Sneak.
No, you're fine. Sneak being I have 1. Is there any domain to roll with?
I don't think you have a domain that quite fits in this situation, so no. I'm looking
Low
at them.
society. They sound trashy.
Okay, you know what? Go for it.
Ooh, I'm gonna get tea. All right. So that would be 3d10.
Yes, 3d10.
1 from sneak and 1 from. Okay. Roll. Give me the tea. Submit. Don't do me dirty. What was it? I don't have the thing up.
It's a 10.
Oh. Give me the tea. Give me the tea.
So, you do see there is in fact a body.
Oh shit.
You see the wife splayed out on the floor. Man standing above with a candelabra in his hand.
Oh.
He does not see you.
Oh. Do I recognize him at all?
You've seen him once or twice walking around the village last couple of days. You've probably sat a table away at the pub
Oh.
recently.
God, it was Carl. Carl killed his wife. I'm putting it in my notes.
And he sits there pacing back and forth. You realize that the trapdoor you've lifted up is like half under a rug.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's some tassels obstructing your vision.
Ugh.
But you see him pacing back and forth and back and forth. Then you can, if a light bulb could physically appear over a drow's head, that's what would have just happened. He runs upstairs and comes down with a book in hand.
Okay.
You see him snap open this book and start speaking in a tongue that's unfamiliar to you, but you feel like you've heard in your nightmares.
Okay.
The ground shakes a little. Red marks come from the ground around him, coming from the blood of his recently deceased wife and going towards her. You watch as her head spins back the right way round and the gash heals itself, and she rises back to her feet. What just happened? And you see him set her down on the couch and mentioning she just had a nasty fall and knocked out for a second, but she's back now.
He necromancer?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Are they gonna be staying in this room much longer? Let's see if that book is all on its lonesome.
After they seem to spend about 15-20 more minutes in there, and then she goes to the kitchen to cook dinner. And he goes back upstairs, leaving the book on a coffee table.
Okay, look. I'm gonna get the book, but like I'm stretching my body from the hole. Like I'm not even in there. I'm just
Okay.
snatching.
Chat, does she need to roll again to do this?
No.
I think with the 10.
I'm in chat. I'm in chat.
I think with the 10.
I think with a
It-
10, yeah, you can get it.
Yeah.
Ooh. I stole his book. I'm out of there.
Okay, you get it. You now have a crimson book with silver bindings.
Crimson book.
The book itself, like the cover, is crimson red.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
For anyone who's recently played Dredge, you know exactly where that reference comes from.
Okay. Did my team see this, or is that just me?
No, you are the only one who has seen any of this.
Oh my god! All right, I haul my butt back down to my team, and I tell them what happened, and then I show them the book, and now I'm waiting for the response.
Can you repeat that real quick?
Pretty much, she just caught you up on what happened.
Okay. I am a little taken aback by the entire set of events, but I gesture at the book. So what is it?
I don't know. I feel like maybe Trayvon would have better use out of this. Maybe he
I mean,
can
I can read through the book.
like study it.
Are you gonna hand it to Drayvon?
Well, let me flip through the pages briefly
Okay.
and skim it first.
What are you thinking about when you go to open this book?
I'm thinking about that. I just saw someone murder their wife and then bring them back to life.
Okay.
You see spells and incantations to end and restore life at will.
That like any
To
old.
end and restore life?
Like separate incantations to both end life and restore life at will.
Good lord.
Oh, wait. Okay, I closed it and then opened it thinking of something different. Can I do that?
What are you thinking of?
How to make anybody, not a magistrar, anybody fall in love with you.
You see a charm for inducing
charm?
strong affection.
I'm listening.
It does
The charm
come
that I have.
with a whole host of warnings and stipulations on the possible dangers therein.
I'm not interested in that. Give the charm.
It just briefly explains how to cast it and the tools and requirements needed.
Is it like tough stuff to get or easy stuff to get?
You're
You-
very interested in this.
You need some of his blood. Or the
Okay.
subject's blood. Let's rephrase that. You need
Alright.
some of the subject's blood.
Subject's blood.
And you're going to
I'll
have
keep
to
that.
be outside on the roof of the Spire on a full moon.
Roof, spire, full moon.
And just as a reminder, between you and the roof of the Spire, where you traditionally are, is a little section called Amaranth. Spelled,
Okay.
not
the
like,
flower, right?
yeah, not like the streamer.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
And you know that is where the, what's it called? The aelfir traditionally reside. And that it is a very dangerous area to go to. But you are aware that you might, if you want to successfully do this, need to find yourself on the roof of the Spire.
Alright, I'll keep that in my back pocket. We can keep going.
Okay, so where do y'all want to go next?
Whew, that was spicy. Well, I picked the first one, so I'll let you guys pick next.
Drayvon?
You said there was a room that it sounded like running water.
Yes.
Let's investigate that area.
As you go, you notice this one slopes downward. And, each of you give me... Yeah, you don't need to roll for this. As y'all walk, you start to notice the odd piece of tile on the rock wall. Tunnel wall.
Okay.
Not too dissimilar from the green glass tile often seen around Vermissian stations. It immediately stands out to you as odd for where you currently are. But as you get to the end of this significantly longer tunnel, a river intersects it perpendicular. And this area is carved out about 30 feet wide, 25-ish feet tall, or deep, like you've gone significantly far down. And the river runs through it with a raised bank on each side. And there's more and more of that tile as you get farther down here.
That would be it.
Is there like a landing area or like a ferry or something across the river or anything like that?
Not currently.
Gotcha. Is there anything else that like kind of sticks out besides just the tiles?
The shape of it stands out to you, particular Drayvon. This feels very much like the Vermisian stations of the Spire.
Would we all know what that is, or only Drayvon?
Y'all would, if he kind of mentioned it, y'all would be able to put it together, but it would not stand out as immediately to y'all. But Ori, you notice something down here.
I do.
There is a thin smear of blood along the wall.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do upon noticing that?
What color is it?
It is primarily red.
I want to touch it.
As,
I want to see if it's fresh or not.
as you touch it
I wanna
and it
touch
comes
it.
to your finger, it's a little aged. And aged being an appropriate choice of word, because you can almost smell alcohol coming from the blood. And you know the spot where you touch, it's like more blood wells up out of the dirt in that spot to continue the coverage there.
I take my hand back. And I inform the party of this bleeding wall.
Is it the wall or the ground?
Was it the ground?
It's the wall.
Okay.
It's a wall. Okay.
The wall seeping blood.
Though it appears to be.
And you touched it.
I needed to see if it was fresh. I don't know, maybe someone was injured wandering down here, or there just appears to be a bleeding wall.
I poke it just to see if it's like soft.
Yeah, the dirt itself does feel somewhat soft and giving around the blood. And again, as the blood lands on your hand and finger, it has that heady, almost fermented smell.
Ugh.
And as you pull your hand away, both the dirt coming back out to kind of reform and the blood comes back to continue the shape of the wall.
Oh.
Could
Do you
both
think we
could
go
both of you give me a resist plus occult roll?
Oh,
The two who touched the wall, right?
Yes, those who touch the wall.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 3.
Let's see. So that,
Jeez. Oh, I'm on fire.
you said resist and occult, so that's 2 for me.
I'll be right back. I have food delivery right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, yum.
Delicious.
For a moment, you both feel
Scrumptious.
this strange energy wash over you. And you hear the thoughts of everyone in this village. But the feeling quickly fades.
Okay. That was strange. Did you? I looked to Cornelia. Did you?
And I go, did you?
So that's a yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think that
Oh.
meant?
I don't know, but I heard that Carl's cheating on his wife. I heard him think it.
But while you're down there, you actually heard his name.
Ooh.
Carl?
The guy y'all saw murder?
Yeah,
I-
that's Carl.
Carl's kind of a nickname.
Yeah.
He is Fortier Dumas. I will put that in chat.
Oh.
And y'all would know his role within town is he is the chair of the Farmers Union.
Hold on, I gotta write this down. So that's interesting and suspicious. Did we hear anything interesting when we heard those thoughts?
It was so much all at once, you couldn't quite parse it. Because on top of hearing everyone's thoughts, you heard each other's thoughts, who heard everyone's thoughts.
Okay.
So it was this like awful moment of microphone feedback.
Okay. Farming. I feel like we probably shouldn't touch it again, right?
I mean, you're welcome to.
I feel like that's dangerous.
I want to touch it.
Okay? You touch the wall, give me a resist plus occult roll.
Resist plus occult. Only
And
have
he heard what
one.
we said, so he knows what to expect.
So I don't have any resist, but I have occult. So
Okay, 2d10.
Too.
2d10. Oh, okay.
My gosh.
Well, I am very glad all three of you passed the roll. The fact all three of you rolled the lowest roll was a 9, it does hurt
Are
me
you
somewhat.
kidding?
It's
Oh.
kind of nice for us. I'm sure it'll change.
I was gonna say.
Again, for but an instant, you feel the thoughts of everyone within this village. But then they fade out to silence, and you're fine.
So it was just like a loud amalgamation of everybody in the village.
Yes.
Like their current thoughts?
Yes, their current thoughts.
Is there anything that I was able to like pull from that specifically?
It was a bit too much to process thoroughly, but because you didn't have the feeling of someone else's thoughts, hearing everyone's thoughts, you know someone in town is concerned about a change they are undergoing.
Okay.
And that, like, midway through their thought, it suddenly went silent.
Oh.
Like a murder?
Just silent.
Would I be able to determine if that was like a male or a female?
Normally, yes. I will say this time, though, you could not.
Okay.
There was a very, I don't have a word, but neutral quality to their voice.
Interesting. Are we able to advance any further down the hall, or is it a dead end?
The river continues in both directions as far as you can see, but the walkway itself ends at the body of water.
And there's nothing really like visible that we could see,
Not really. There's
like a boat or
No.
a crossway or anything like that.
There
Okay.
is no standard crossing mechanism that you can see.
How strong is the river?
It is fast enough there is definitely a risk of drowning if you jumped in.
I was gonna say, what's the Oregon Trail % chance of dying?
I would also say it is underground and you have no idea where it comes back above ground.
Could we use an object to push into the wall to see if it gives way, since it seems like it is like malleable?
Yeah, what would you like to push against the wall?
I don't want to lose that gun.
I mean, I have a sword, but I don't necessarily want to poke it into a bleeding wall.
Can I look around and see if there's any like debris or trees?
There's a root hanging out of the ceiling just out of reach.
Just out of reach. What if I'm standing on Draven's shoulders?
Oh, it'll be easy to get to then.
All right.
Drayvon, are
May
you
I-
okay with that?
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
dainty in the game. So, yes, we acquire the branch.
Well, actually, before you acquire it, I do need a D20, or not D20, sorry. Too much 5e lately. Just give me a D10.
1d10.
Single D10.
Oh, I fall on my ass, don't I?
Let's see which way you go. Drayvon, what direction are you facing? Are you facing into the river? Or the wall?
I believe he's looking. Oh, I'll let you answer.
Facing the wall.
Okay. So, to take my hands from this, we're going to do a D4. 1 is forward, 2 is back, 3 is left, 4 is right. Bleeding wall
As
is
to
just
which-
1.
And I roll one. Oh, you do.
So, you fall. You still get the branch, but you do fall
Okay.
and kind of skid. And you land kind of in the middle of the walking area.
Okay.
Little bruised and battered, but none the worse for wear.
So, in that instance, could I have fallen into the wall or into the river?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'm glad you didn't.
All right. Well, I cut the branch and my butt hurts. All right. I push it in to see if I can like clear the wall if there's something on the other side.
As you push into it, you notice the blood dribbles around the route you're using to push a bit faster.
Mhm.
You notice when it hits the ground, it instantly carves a path into the... starting to flow towards the river.
It clears a path?
The blood looks like it is clearing a path, like it is pulling dirt out of its own way as it flows.
And it's heading towards the river.
Yes, it is heading towards the river.
Okay.
What color is the river water?
Blue.
Okay. So I was gonna say, is this just like a river of blood?
No, it is a river of clean water.
Okay.
We're about to contaminate it. Gotcha.
It's the town's drinking water.
Reminder, you are in that town right now.
Uh-oh. So, but the wall just bleeds. It doesn't, like, there's nothing on the other side.
You feel like you hit like a pocket of air because there's like a little spray, but it doesn't quite reach any of you. But no, there's nothing of interest within.
Okay. Alright, then I'll give up on this.
Is there a way that I can prevent that blood from actually touching the water?
Oh yeah, if you could maybe like dig a little pool for it to like gathering, because it does seem to like stop adding new blood to
I
it.
start doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want the water to get blood in it.
May I also I'm wearing a particularly old cape that I don't care for anymore. Can I toss that down to absorb some of it as well?
Oh yes, you can.
Okay, so team effort. I'm
Give
hooked up
me
here.
a fix roll, Drivon.
1d10.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Ooh, very nice.
You dig this in time, and the blood pools about a quarter of the way up it, and then stops. Now, do you leave the cape, or do you bring the cape with you?
Does it have blood on it?
Yes, it is drenched in blood.
Do
But there is like a corner you could pick up.
you guys want to bring a sample back?
Define sample.
Like, we'll have some of the blood on my cape. We can bring it back with us if we want to, you know.
Not the
maybe
whole
we can-
cape, right?
No, I can maybe just.
Cut it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's use the sword so the part that's dry and just a little bit of the blood part.
Yes,
so it's
that's
like,
fine.
yeah,
Okay.
Okay,
this
you
is what I've done.
easily cut off a little corner.
Okay.
Everyone looking at it, give me a D10 roll.
Everyone, like, looking at the cape?
Yeah, the cape.
I wasn't looking at it. I was looking away, disgusted with this whole thing.
Oh
Okay.
God, no!
You don't notice anything.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Phew.
So what would you like to do now?
Do we want to investigate any of these other ones? We still have the pub, or where the people are laughing, a teacher, and a church.
Go to the church.
All right, let's go to church. Stay away from the water.
Insert take me to church reference here.
I know, that's what I
Take
was
me to
thinking.
Snail Church.
Yeah, take me to Snurch. Let's snoreship.
Okay. Furiously adding to DM notes. Snail Church. Okay.
All right.
As y'all approach, you can tell it sounds like service is ending for the day.
Okay.
Which is mighty fine, because who goes up the ladder first?
Well, I went first for the murder wife, so I'm towards the back now.
I suppose I will.
As you pop up, it's directly behind the altar.
I'm just like kinda peeking out.
hmm Thankfully, everyone seems to have been kind of funneled out and it's pretty empty, to what you can tell.
Okay, what all do I see?
You see the white marble of the altar, which you would know is not native to this area and had to be brought in from far, far away. It is probably very expensive.
Ooh, fancy.
Okay.
You see all the kind of standard worship paraphernalia. You also hear the sound of hatchlings.
Hatchlings.
Yes.
I whisper that down to my companions and tell them I would like to see what's going on.
Yeah, I guess we're in a nursery.
So I climb up the ladder fully and I'm out and I'm still
No,
crouched.
I don't mind. I
down,
feel
though,
very at home.
and I'm motioning for them to come up.
Okay, I come out, and I'm also, by the way, under that is still my Lejeune clothes, so I feel like I probably don't stick out.
Nope. Do all three of you come out?
Oh, I do.
Yes.
As y'all come up, the sound is very distinctly coming from behind you to the left and below. Ori, once you get to the top of the ladder.
Below, like back from where we came?
Not below that far, but like, you would imagine that if you were to go to the left and look, you might find a staircase down a little bit.
I do that.
And you find a staircase down leading to a small hatchery. And
I
a
look-
single young woman trying to run it. Somewhat out of control. There's about 18 hatchlings and just her.
I look at the party.
Yes.
We can't leave her like that.
Is she a normal elf, or is she a midwife?
Does she look like me?
She is a midwife. Much newer and much, like, less given to Ishkar and the processes therein, but nonetheless, not a neophyte midwife.
Okay. So that's probably like not a ton more than would be normal, but they're
You know.
new.
Like, a single extra eye is about all you can notice that makes them extremely different.
Okay.
Just, are you the new hire? They've left me here
No.
alone for 5 years.
5 years?
5 years? Okay.
They won't
I
I
send
wouldn't
any.
necessarily say we are the new hires, but if you
Hmm.
need help, I'll gladly provide
Oh.
some assistance.
Grab
Proper
hatchlings,
assistance.
grab bottles.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
All right. I can only take one on account of having 2 arms.
Yeah, I do have the upper hand here, literally.
Upper hands, yes. Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and help out a little bit. We can do a slight detour.
So yeah, y'all take some time, help out. And she talks to y'all a bit. She's also the school teacher. She had to run from class over here to help.
Oh, bless her.
Was there anyone here before you?
Her name is Celestine Limon. There was someone here when I started. They trained me, but they fell to the Viscant and went a little crazy. They're actually still in the village, just locked up.
Would we know what that means?
Yes. The Viscant is a living disease,
Okay.
and it is part of the unreality of the heart, and
Oh, yes. Okay.
it's interesting. It gradually takes you over, and things change about you as time goes on. Trayvon, you would recognize that when you heard that singular voice stop earlier, not quite hers, but the most similar you've heard so that you could pin so far.
This woman we're helping right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll help her for a bit, and she just explains, that she's reached out to the temples of Ishkar and the Spire, written multiple times, and they keep saying they'll send someone, but apparently everyone they keep sending dies before they get here.
Do they say what they die of?
Nope, they just say they didn't make it, and they'll send a new one in a few weeks.
So the grotto is in the spire or out of the spire?
You are outside the Spire.
But we're still supported by the spire?
Yes, it's close enough to be visible. Like, when the trees part, you can see it.
Okay. Because that's what she's saying. Someone from the spire was sending help, but they died?
Yes.
Okay.
And this village sends food back to the Spire.
Oh, yes. Okay.
It's been lonely out here.
I could tell her I could try to write to
Your contacts
yeah,
at your old
my old temple.
temple, yes.
She looks up at you like you're her hero. You really mean that?
Yes, I've been a midwife longer than most people have been alive, given Spire age, but
Thank you. I wasn't given a lot of training, and I was just kind of dumped out here. This is my first assignment.
I can share some of what I know. It obviously won't be very in-depth, but it'll at least make the hatchlings calm down a little bit.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for offering. I appreciate that. Yes, please. And about then, you just hear another small wave of cries growing, as she is just horribly outnumbered. She goes, I have to teach the school. I do this. I'm also, for lack of a better word, the town doctor. I
It's
sleep.
possible.
She does everything, Jesus!
Yo, Celestine!
I sleep like 2, maybe 3 hours.
When's the next class?
She kind of looks around trying to find her gauge of time down here. Latches onto a small moving clock on the wall. 6 hours till the next lesson.
Okay, so you got some time. When do you have to fulfill your doctor duties?
Whenever someone shouts.
Alright, well...
Why
I
don't
don't know.
you get some rest while we kind of
I was
Here,
gonna
here.
say... Ori
spend some
is...
time?
Yeah.
I'm
Ori
quite
can do
experienced.
nursery stuff, and I am a Lejean who is medicine-oriented, and Dub, I'm sorry, Trayvon, I'm sure you could teach a class, right? For a little bit. Let them catch up on some sleep.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Thank you. And she's snoring before she finishes the sentence at the thought of getting a chance to rest.
Was
I
she
was gonna
holding
say.
any hatchlings at that
Yeah,
time?
she has a hatchling, and it just kind of slumps against her chest.
I can't
That's
really take the
okay.
hatchling.
Look, moms fall asleep holding babies all the time. So anyway, so can we just let her sleep for like 12 hours and fast forward or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all help out around town. You'll meet some people in the process,
Okay.
and you'll kind of come back to regroup as she wakes up. Is that what sleep's supposed to feel like?
Yes.
I don't know. How did it feel? Good?
My arms don't hurt. And you can tell as she wakes up, her arms are just like automatically assuming a position to carry hatchlings.
To hold like babies.
That's more sleep than I've had in a couple of years.
Well,
Do you
I'll write
know?
that letter as soon as I can.
Do you know how much coffee I drink? She points over to a little station she has by the door, and it is a coffee pot that could probably hold about 2 gallons of coffee.
Yikes.
She's like, I drink probably 3 of those a day.
That's sorry. That's a lot of coffee.
It's a lot.
wow.
Like, you can tell she's got a bit of an eye twitch.
Yeah, that's tough. Let's see. I'll also write into my glorious lady church about seeing if there's any reinforcements on the medical side that we can send in as well, as that would be my speciality.
Y'all are so kind here. I get paid extremely well because I work so hard. And she just she just reaches down below her seat, and you kind of tell she doesn't leave this room unless she's teaching or helping someone. Like, this is her home.
Yeah.
She just pulls out a sack of stens and hands them to y'all.
Oh.
It is enough money. Each of you is going to gain +1 silver resistance.
My gosh.
Like, legitimately, she handed y'all probably what would be a year's wages for y'all.
I don't know if I can accept that kind of money.
Nope, please do. Please do. The temple sends money. The Spire school system sends money.
Okay.
And it all goes to me because I do everything. And we barter here, so money doesn't have a ton of weight to begin with.
All right. Well, I mean, I do need a new cape, so I won't refuse twice.
My sister's a tailor.
My God. I take
Only
down the number.
a tailor. And you can hear just a little bit of spite creep into her voice.
There's probably some bite in those words.
All right. I take down her number or whatever.
Yeah, she gives you just like turn-by-turn directions to her house from where you are staying.
Right. Her directions. Got it.
When I settle down some of the hatchlings and I tell her the brief basics of, getting them to calm down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, while you're teaching, I refresh all of like the medical kits.
She kind of stops in awe because she's finally cognizant enough to realize you have your second set of arms.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
I probably should have gotten mine a couple years ago, but they won't send anyone out here for the rituals for it. And obviously, I can't leave them behind.
Yes.
How difficult is the ritual?
I was gonna say that's something Ori could do.
Is that something that we could do right now, or is it an involved process?
You need the right people to do it. No offense to any of you, but the highest member of the Order of Ishkar.
Makes sense.
But
Gotcha.
y'all might be able to help another way.
Listening.
Hmm?
Your gun on your back, you're part of that Vermisian sage stuff, right?
Yeah.
You could get me back to the temple. They could do it. And Ori, that's your name, correct?
It is.
Could you watch them for a day while he takes me to do that? As you know, I can be back that evening.
I'm quite delighted to be able to watch hatchlings again. I'd be more than willing to.
I'll make it worth y'all's time. She reaches back to the lower seat and pulls out another sack of stems.
No, oh God, no more money,
Listen,
please.
the first
Please
bag
don't.
was enough.
It was. We really don't need this. We appreciate it.
Look, yeah.
Half of it.
No.
And her face
No.
says she won't, like, haggle with y'all much lower.
If you insist.
What if I say she could just owe us a favor instead?
A quarter of the bag in a favor.
Okay, quarter and a favor.
I was gonna say, I kind of huddle with the party and like, we can just donate the money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we
can
can do
just
that.
put it somewhere.
Like, to
Yeah,
put a
quarter
dollar
and a
amount on
favor.
it, like, a quarter of that bag is equivalent to, like, $25,000.
Jesus.
And as she kind of stands up to shake y'all's hands and hug you, you can see there's, like, 20 bags under her chair.
I'm flabbergasted.
Well, I mean, she earned it, but
She did.
it's like you can't spend it.
'Cause
So
You would know that normally a temple like this would have 4 to 5 midwives.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got
All right.
1.
One.
So that money's supposed to go 4 to 5 ways, and just nobody's realized they're sending way more than they need to.
Yeah. All right. Well, I
So
guess if Drayvon's taking, I'll do teaching and medicine.
thank you all so much. Again, I'm actually gonna go sleep in my bed tonight because the hatchlings are finally calm enough. I think they'll get through the night. And you see her stand up, and she takes a few steps over and just kind of bumps a kind of webby and rocked face on the wall, and it like folds in, revealing a bed and a lamp.
Not a Murphy bed. Oh God.
Pretty much.
Oh no.
And she falls in it, and you hear her snoring before like y'all have taken a step or two.
I settle in.
Yeah.
I find a
Sorry,
nice chair.
She
Really
has
hunched
a
in for the
very
night.
comfortable chair.
Oh,
Like-
nice.
You can imagine she's probably spent like a year's salary on like the chairs that are down here. Because
Good
you can see
investment.
there's 3 more for other midwives when they eventually show up.
Oh yeah, the people that should be there. All right. Are we snoozing for the day?
So, yeah, it's like y'all have been doing this long enough. It is now evening. Like night has
Yes.
fallen. The Lejan of this temple came down and saw what you are doing, and he brought y'all a small meal.
Oh, how
He-
nice.
That is nice.
Some
I share some Lejeune talk.
stir-fried mushrooms with a bright vinegary sauce served over a bed of rice.
Ooh.
And morning comes. And Celestine steps out in very bright, clean midwife robes.
Oh.
And you would know they are special robes to wear to the temple that she's never gotten a chance to use.
They look very nice.
Now, is there an equivalent of cameras?
There are, I would say you don't have one on you right now.
Ah, I'll just sear it in my memory.
Ori, would you have written a letter for her to take to the temple?
Yes.
And,
I have a.
let's say, Cornelia, you mentioned wanting to write to get some medical aid brought in as well?
I did to my temple.
Okay.
correct.
So y'all each hand her the letters y'all have written. And she is repeatedly bowing and thanking and hugging. She says, when I come back, I'll be able to hug both of you at the same time.
I look forward to it.
Me too. All right, you
Well-
ready for your solo adventure?
Trayvon, off we go.
Alrighty. And I guess I just open up my back door to the Verbician.
Yes, and as you do so, instead of a normal door, I don't have a better description than a slab of meat appears on the wall.
Gross.
Like, big, like, cow rack of ribs size, just slab of meat. and as you open it, it leads into the Vermisian, but you hear a more animalistic sound come from it than usual. Instead of the
Well-
normal screams and whines, it's much more of a roar.
Love that.
So is it always this messy?
Not always. This is a bit unfamiliar, but everything should be fine.
Y'all get into the Vermisian, and as y'all travel, I'm gonna put a pause on you. Adrenaline, we will get back to you. We're gonna pause on you as well, Ori. We're gonna go. Actually, we're gonna take our break now. We're gonna take a 10-minute break.
Okay.
But we will come
Alright.
back on Cornelia teaching school.
All right.
So I'm
Okay.
gonna pause the recording real quick. Okay. Howdy, y'all. Welcome back. We're out of our break. Okay, floor is yours.
All right, so really quickly, I was thinking and I was like, maybe I was too rash and I want to open my book again and I want to just find out about how to know how someone really feels about you.
Okay. You find an in-depth ritual to divine one's true feelings and intent.
Okay.
And all it requires is a picture of the person.
Oh, excellent. Well, I have many.
Something you want to tell us, Cornelia?
No, it's fine. Not everything has to be on the center stage, but let's just say I have a photo. So I guess I can do this now? I thought I would be able to.
It takes a while. You would need some time.
Is it
Okay.
is it the guy you constantly flirt with?
No, I don't. He flirts with me. You guys don't even know half of it.
Uh-huh.
You don't even know half of it.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll keep it in my back pocket. I don't want to hold anything up.
Okay.
So- Oh, but also the second thing I wanted to do is I also wrote him a letter.
Okay.
And I gave that to Dub if he happens to see it.
Okay. Drevon would know how to get that letter to your Magister easily.
Excellent. It's just asking how he's doing. There's nothing serious in there. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. You wander over to the schoolhouse.
Okay.
There are 36 bright-eyed little drow in there ready to learn.
Okay. Do I know what class I'm teaching?
They kind of just do. You ever been in those one-room schoolhouses in like the prairies and stuff
I
from
have.
American history? It is one of those. You have
Alright,
like kindergarten through 7th or 8th grade.
Wow. Okay. Cool. All right. One thing I would like to do before the kids get in is look at the list of students and see if I recognize any of the last names.
You would see one, with the last name of Saint.
Saint? Okay.
Same as the person who runs your house.
Oh, yes.
And you would see the name. Sure. You see 7 Dumas. Dumas.
And would I recognize that?
7 different kids with that name. That is the guy who was the chair of the farmers union, who you saw kill his wife earlier.
Oh,
bring her back from the-
Fortier.
Yes, Fortier Dumas. You see 7 people with that last name. 7 kids.
Yo, are they siblings?
Cousins.
I guess I can ask them. Oh, okay, cousins.
It has the relation
Cousins.
scribbled down in like which parent to contact if they're misbehaving.
Got it. Interesting. Cousins. 7. Okay. Wait, and which ones of how many of those does it say he's the parent contact for?
Surprisingly, none of them.
Oh, okay. So they're all his. Is it his sister or his brother's kids?
He has 2 brothers, 2 sisters.
2 brothers, 2 sisters.
And it's 3 for one of the brothers. And y'all would know how many kids he has just reading around. And the rest are distributed across some of the sisters.
Okay. Okay, got it. So like 1, 1, and 2. Across the rest. Okay, got it. Good to know. And one of them is Madame Saint's son or daughter.
Son. Well, grandson to be specific.
Oh, okay. to know. All right. I'm ready
Madam
to
Saint, you would know, is about 250 years old.
Oh. All right. 250.
Also known as old as dirt by drow standards. No one knows quite how long a drow can live because no one's seen a drow in ideal living conditions for very long.
He's got a lot of energy for a drow her age.
The kids kids are there. They've gotten their seats, kind of clamoring at who the new face in the front of the room is. And all the Demos kids are kind of seated at the front row, and they're giving you demon eyes.
Oh.
Hi,
I'm
Vixen.
making a face. What'd you say?
Someone just joined chat saying hi. Sorry.
Oh, hi. No, you're fine. I make a face at them, but not like that they would have saw.
One of the kids in the back raises their hand. Older kid.
Okay.
I don't mean to be rude, ma'am, but precisely who the heck are you?
Oh, honey, that's not rude at all. I am substituting in for Celestine, so she
Did she
can
die?
get some very. No. Is that good news?
You realize about half the class had weapons and they're silently putting them back in their bags?
What? No, we're actually new friends. So we're helping her get something done that she's wanted to do for a long time. So everything is totally fine.
Oh, okay. And you realize he's pulled a double-barrel shotgun out of his bag and he's putting it back in.
I have like several beads of sweat coming down my face.
You
and I'm just,
also
like,
could
wiping it away.
realize it should not fit in that bag.
Interesting. Is there anything else interesting about his bag?
It's like a pretty heavy-duty looking shoulder bag.
Okay. And could I ask your name?
Franklin Saint.
Oh, I know your grandma.
Yup.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure to teach you today.
I've seen you around. We don't get many visitors around these parts. On account of the whole aelfir ruling the Spire with the iron fist kind of deal.
Yeah.
What's that little thing that's been running around with y'all the last couple of days? It's got feathers.
She
Beak
should
on
be
its
in this
face.
class. Oh, is there any way I could get him to be here?
I'll say, yeah,
Right
he
now?
just followed you in. And he just kind of peeks over behind the desk. Chillish says hi. And all the kids kind of simultaneously shriek in like rat enters the room moment.
No. I expected that reaction, and I covered Chilish's eyes and ears so he does not see that happen. And I say, Chilish is, I think, a child. Just like you guys, he's very sweet, and I urge y'all all to be as kind as possible, because he's just here to learn, just like you guys. And then I uncovered Chilish's eyes and ears.
This school?
Yeah.
Chillish smart.
I'm probably gonna teach Chilish how to add numbers together. Yes.
He finds an open desk and like scurries over to it and just kind of hugs the desk for a second.
I don't know if I can add this detail in post, but can I have bought Chilish a very cute first day outfit?
You went down. I'll say
Well,
you
I went
managed to
to
get.
the
Yeah,
tailor.
you got some time with the tailor, and you got yourself a nice little vest for him and some pants, little hat.
He has a little paperboy hat on.
And you see one of the girls in the class who would be like physically about his age, like from height and stuff, wander over and just gently pat him on the shoulder and then go back to her seat.
You're gonna make Whiff combust.
Oh, I love this for Chillish. This is.
Chillish made a
Just-
friend.
Oh my goodness! I'm so glad they're being nice. Well, let me know if anyone starts picking on him.
You would notice all the Damas kids have kind of whispered something to each other.
All right, I would like to. I'm not gonna say anything, but I'd like to make eye contact with the Dumas children, and I would like to have a face that looks so horrifyingly scary that maybe one of them does a poop or a pee in their pants.
You know what? I will let you invoke your divine magic to just, like, terrify those kids in particular. Heck, I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. You glare at these kids, and just the light of the moon bathes you, and, like, even though it is daylight, it is suddenly dark, and you are the only source of light in the room to these kids. Everyone else sees nothing wrong, and their knees are literally knocking in a few seconds.
All right, and then just very abruptly, I go back to smiling, and I say, "All right, class, you ready to learn?"
One of the other kids in the back raises their hand.
Yes.
Ma'am, what do we
Mhm.
call you?
Ooh, you can call me Miss Cornelia.
Miss Cornelia. Got it.
All right. All right. Actually, no. Okay. No. Yes. Do we know the Magister's last name?
No.
Okay. Never mind. No, it's fine. All right. Keep going. Yeah, Miss Cornelia will be just fine. Do I actually have to teach them?
No.
Okay. All right.
What do you want
Can
to
I-
teach him about for the day, though? Like, just give me a
Today we're
subject.
learning
Uh,
calculus.
All right, children. I want you to differentiate this. Okay. Let's see. If it's a bunch of different kids up to age 7, then I think
No,
we'll just
up
do
to
reading
7th
and-
grade. So, like, you've got 5-year-olds to, like, 16-year-olds in one, or, right, not 16, like, 13-year-olds in one room.
Okay. Then we'll do language and we'll do words, but I'll have like a different list of words for each like group of age so it's appropriate. So everyone can kind of do it at their own pace.
You notice the kids all get through their work pretty well. The day stops for lunch, and we will pause on you, and we will come back. Ori, how are the hatchlings treating you today?
Fine.
The Legion of the Temple comes down, and he just puts the coffee on the coffee pot for you, gets that thing going, kind of leans down, waves. Like, I'll bring you some lunch.
I wave back and thank you.
She is such a brave soul. Thank y'all for helping her. Like, every child you see in this village, under the age of, like, 9, she raised. The age of, like, 7, 9, somewhere there, either as her very early apprenticeship or her first assignment.
If you don't mind me asking, she made mention that there's never been help because they've never made it to the village.
I think that's just been to placate her and make her feel like they care.
So you don't think they've sent anybody?
I don't think so. It's hard, if there's someone out here and there's an emergency in the Spire, it's hard to reassign them. What the other thing I imagine is the Vermisians don't like coming out here. I imagine the ones that dropped y'all off were paid very well for their time.
Why would they not like coming out here?
To what I understand, I know very little. It's a little rougher out here.
Well,
And it's just not up to their comfort, so they tend to stay more into the Spire itself.
I'm not in agreement at that.
And I imagine that if the temple has tried to send people, they have made it prohibitively expensive for them to do so. So you know enough about how, like, the more, what's the right word, enterprising sages operate, you would definitely buy that line of reasoning.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's entirely the reason that the temple just can't afford to send people out here. Now, if they knew how much money they were sending, they might be able to. Because
Right.
between you and me, she makes more than pretty much the rest of this village put together.
I've seen.
Like, that's not just silly money. That is, she could probably buy an aelfir home money.
I think she could buy 2.
Probably. I mean, she gets bonuses at the holidays, and we have 2 holidays the next month.
I tell him that I'd still like to. I'd still like to send a letter to my temple back in the Spire.
Oh, please do. The fact that your friend is taking her in means they might send someone back with them. That would be the best case scenario. They have someone already willing to make the trip. Truth be told,
they will.
I'm supposed to have help too. I've never had the gift of medicine. Thankfully, she did. My gifts are more an administrative and bureaucratic role. I can help manage the festivals and run the rituals for them. But I was supposed to retire 6-7 years ago.
You've all been running on fumes, so to speak.
I'm 179. I would like to spend my retirement fishing.
I can respect that.
And I know my temple is not sending people the same reason they're not sending people to help Celestine. It's just, there's not enough people. Not enough people willing. If the Vermisian was fixed and running properly, we would have no issue. We'd have support when we need it, where we need it. But because we're this far out, he sits down and grabs one of the hatchlings and gives you a hand for a bit. Did anyone ever tell you the story about how we got out here?
They did not.
So, 300 years ago, roughly. There's still drow here with a living memory of this. One of our drow, we hide the name for the respective person, set out from the Spire to try to make a name for themselves, and they settled here with their family. And they enjoyed life here so much and discovered how fertile the soil was and how great the land was. They went back to the Spire, burned and battered from the sun, because they walked during the day. They were so excited to bring more people back. And they did that trip twice. It's about a 3-day walk.
And now you can barely get the help that you need out here.
Yeah. And some are afraid the soil is drying up. We're hoping the festival can help. We're invoking a ritual. I had to go track down a book in the basement to figure out how it worked.
A ritual?
I hesitate to say more, but it's supposed to bring life back to our crops.
Well, I won't push for details, but here's hoping that it does work.
Here's hoping. He spends a bit more time, helps you, sits for a little bit, talks, kind of trades work stories pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Goes, I'm off to get lunch. I'll bring some back for you in a bit. And he wanders out.
I'm left thinking about that ritual while I take care of the hatchlings.
A few minutes later, a little kid stumbles in. Right, maybe 5, 6 years old. Miss,
Mhm.
Miss Celeste, you're not Celeste. Who are you?
I'm Ori. I'm just looking after the hatchlings while Celestina is out.
Oh, we.
Yes.
I hurt my knee. He points at
Come
his
here.
knee and he's like scraped it. He just kind of waddles up to you, the child would.
I bend, I use one set of arms to, kind of ruffle his hair while the other two work on his knee.
It's easy enough to patch it up, and you've got him bright as rain in just a moment. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're not from here.
What gave it away?
You have too many arms.
That would not be the first time I've heard that.
And you can tell his eyes have gotten exceptionally wide now that he's realized this. And you can just see him say there, 1, 2. And he shakes it like he was counted wrong. How's that work?
I was given an extra set from my work in the temple spire.
Ooh.
It helps me take care of the hatchlings a little bit better.
That's cool.
I'm glad you think so.
When will Celestine be back?
She should be back very shortly. Hopefully by the end of the day or tomorrow.
My sister Susie's sick. She's home. I didn't want to bring her here. Not to the hatchlings. Something went wrong yesterday. Mom put a board on the door so I can't get closer to her.
Can you tell me more?
She came home. Looked like she'd scraped herself. There was some blood on her leg. Like I hurt my knee. But then she started screaming. Started thrashing about. Started talking about colors in the air.
Do you know where she got hurt?
She didn't tell us. Ori, is my sister gonna die?
No. I have a friend who's a little bit better at medicine than me. Let me talk to her, and we'll see what we can do for your sister.
Could you give me what's the right skill for this? Let's go just give me an occult roll. Just D10 plus occult, so 2D10 for you.
Okay.
I think, because you have the occult domain, right?
I do.
Okay, yeah, so 2D. You would be familiar that what he's describing sounds like the start of a viscant infection.
Do I know if that's fatal or not?
It's not. The person does not die per se, but you know it will warp them into something far different than drow.
Like she was telling us about earlier, her mentor, Celestine's.
And you know that there is a cure for early stage infection, but it requires getting someone all the way down to the heart.
Oh no. I've got some like meta talk.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about that ritual, and I know you like put a content warning. Is this kid gonna have something to do with that?
No.
Okay, good. I was like,
No.
we are about to go 0 to 100 real quick.
No.
with this.
Like
I
I have
don't
a
feel like
I
I
have
would
a
do that
hard
to
rule
us.
against killing kids. No. Like dying from sickness, one thing. Dying off screen, something else. I'm not gonna make y'all kill a kid.
No, that's what I thought. Like it would be off screen, but
Yeah.
like it would be used. It was just
Got
it would happen off screen.
Yeah. No. That is not on the table.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I play. My other DM is a little bit darker, so.
Yeah. No. I have some hard lines in the sand, and that is one of them. So
Good news.
Very good news. Okay.
y'all feel better now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing up that concern, though. I always want to make sure you are comfortable. So
Yes.
thank you.
I reassure him though, and when the liaison comes back down,
Hmm?
I ask if he can like watch for just a second while I go find Cornelia.
What's wrong? You look a little shell-shocked.
There's something I need to discuss with my friend.
Okay, and as you go to do that discussion, we're going to put a pause on you.
Okay.
Drivon, how would you normally describe traveling through the Vermissian from one place to another?
I guess like the initial like transfer, it'd be kind of like going through a tunnel, like almost like a slide. Lots of like bright colors streaming by you as you traverse. And it seems like a very long process when you're actually traveling, but in reality, it's like a blink of an eye.
The first section of this, you have an intuitive sense of direction of how to navigate the Vermissian. It doesn't take you maps or charts. You just know. But the first section of it feels much more like an ocean in the middle of a violent storm. Celestine flat out loses her lunch in the Vermissian.
Oh.
That happens to everybody on their first trip.
Is it always this? Ooh, is it always this rough?
The first time around, yeah. But as someone who regularly makes this trip, you do get used to it.
You would also be aware, however, that this is rougher than pretty much anything you've ever experienced. Like, this is intense. Different intense. And you notice where normally there would be green tile, kind of towards the edges of walls and stuff, if you would call them walls, you see a lot more meat. But
There's just like slabs and chunks of meat
Yeah.
all about.
just
Right.
suddenly meat.
Oh, what kind of meat?
You're not sure. Indiscriminate large chunks of meat.
Fascinating. It doesn't normally look like this. I'll give you that, Celestine.
Huh. Well, few moments go by, and you do tump out right in front of her temple. Or the like central temple of Ishkar that handles the midwives. Well, thank you for the trip. I guess I'm gonna return well armed.
That's a good one. I like that.
And she just about dances inside, stops a street photographer to grab a picture of herself, runs back to you, hands it to you, just so you can remember. And she sprints inside.
All right, I guess I just follow in, and
Draymond is really just here.
Yeah, right. I'm just here as a transport. I'm not really one for religion. Because of I feel like my mind works differently. I need like structural facts, and I don't necessarily uh it's not that I distrust institutions like this, but because I know that they serve a purpose, but it's not for me.
I do love how the party is pretty much two priests and an atheist.
Yeah.
My favorite TV show.
Yeah,
It's a step to a joke.
yeah, it feels like a cheesy sitcom.
Yeah, one of your teammates literally radiates the light of our glorious lady. But it's fine.
But I am fascinated to know how this ritual works. So I will like try to like study it.
Okay, you are at Pilgrim's Walk, so there are books about every faith imaginable. So it is easy to find things to research. As you walk, people walk up offering you the tiny gods bound in swords, axes, guns, grenades. One man in particular walks up to you, tries to press something into your hand. This is Baboom, the god of explosion.
Okay, you guys really have gods for everything, don't you? Okay.
That would be 56 stin, please.
I don't want this.
But it wants you.
Even more do I not want this.
Baboom will find you!
And I'll be ready. As I like tap the vermician carbine that's on my shoulder.
You hear him doing a ritual chant of Baboom, which is just a count back from 10 down to 1.
That's fun.
As you walk up, old drow, probably the oldest drow you've ever seen, stops you. You've been to the Arbor Vitae.
Do I know what that is?
No.
Okay. And
How is it?
it's been nice this time of year.
You're not.
I don't know what they're talking
You're
about.
not aware,
and
are you?
I'm not who?
You don't know,
I know a lot of things.
but you don't know about this.
I could know.
Here, come, I teach. No money. Just come.
Okay, I'll follow along.
She leads you into her store, past all these knickknacks and baubles of Vermician history. You see a item labeled genuine gear of the last train. And then she opens a trap door in the back and kind of slides down. Keeps going deeper and deeper until she's in what amounts to a cavern. And you would know this cavern is carved into the wall of the spire itself. Which is no easy feat. Spire black drips from the walls and on the floor. Somewhat foolishly, she lights a candle in this room. Spire black makes gunpowder.
I recoil as she lights the candle.
Oh, you silly, the spire won't kill you inside of itself. Doesn't make sense. Has to get rid of you somehow.
But you do know what this stuff does.
Oh yes,
Right.
I drink it. She pulls a little metal tin cup off of her belt, like pulls it
The
down
face,
in,
the face I make.
and she just drinks it. How do you think I
Why-
maintain my young and youthful appearance?
I definitely didn't think it was that.
So, there's a theory of the Vermissian that it was always here, and that the sages merely tried to give it form under aelfir instruction, but the aelfir, foolish as they were, tried to give form to the formless. And it exploded. Reality collapsed inward and outward on itself simultaneously, splitting off from everything we understand into the madness that is the tunnels and network. Some of us older folk and more naturey people, the druids hold this theory as well, is that it was always here, but instead of being tunnels, they were roots, part of a species of plant or fungi. And those networks and roots are called the arbor vitae. You get far enough out of the spire, and nature comes back. Did it feel different out there?
You know it did.
Wild, untamed, more meat than usual?
You could say that again.
Here. This won't make it easy, but it will make it easier. She reaches into one of the folds of her robe and produces this charm that looks like an anchor. It'll weigh you down, so to speak, and let it pass over you a bit easier as you navigate through, but be warned. Leaving the Arbor Vitae back to a place outside the network isn't always predictable. You will get where you're going, but it'll make you stop somewhere else first.
Good to know. I'll keep that in mind.
And every time you go in and come out, things will change.
How so?
We don't know fully. We just know some of the readings that ghosts find their way out there and get lost on their way to the afterlife.
Okay. I don't necessarily take everything to count, but I am wary of my next travel through the Vermissian.
One thing you notice as you wander is there's a lot more morticians than usual running around.
There's a lot what? I'm sorry.
A lot more morticians.
Okay.
Normally you would see 3 to 5 on a given day, and that would be an auspicious moment. You've probably seen 45 to 50 in the short walk you've been on.
And this is all still at the
At this point, she's led you back out of the cave, or out of her little cave into the shop and let you go. You're free to wander Pilgrim's Walk again.
Alright, well I guess I'll just head back to the temple. Try to keep out of sight from the many morticians that are up.
As you wander, you see a poster that says legally dead. And it is a very accurate picture of Ori.
Oh,
Okay. I'm gonna take the poster. Is there anything other, like any other details on it?
It offers a reward of 1,000,000 stin.
Okay.
oh.
I'm gonna fold that up and put it in my bag.
Sorry, I'm taking some notes real quick. In what seems like just a little bit, maybe another hour or so, I've lost my note. Sorry. I'm having to scroll back and forth a bunch. I have 3 tabs just for this one scenario open. Because there's so many names. Celestine walks out. Well, how do I look? And she raises out 4 arms and kind of jazz hands all 4 at once.
You look complete.
They actually gave me 2 promotions. And she, like, reaches to her back and pulls out her spider glaive they gave her. Let's go back.
Spider what?
Spider glaive. It's a long halberd where the handle, or the end of it, where the blade would be, is a, like, mechanical, magical mechanical spider that draws and sheaths the blade.
Interesting. Okay.
So it can be concealed and not break the law of you're not normally supposed to carry swords in the Spire. The knights have an exception, and remember, as you were once knighted, you now technically carry that exception. But I presume you were to go back now?
Yeah, I've uncovered some information. I don't want to divulge it now here.
If we can wait just a moment, I'm supposed to have backup come with me.
Okay. Who's his backup? Have you met them yet?
No, they said they were going to send a new midwife, but if they didn't get here in a few minutes, we were to go without them.
Okay.
Those few minutes come and go, and she is once again going back by herself.
Well, hold on now. Who could we talk to? Because midwives are disappearing rapidly. It seems.
Oh, you want to come inside with me to see if we can find out where they went?
Yeah.
Come on. She like puts a set of arms around you. Kind of like one around your shoulder, one resting more naturally around your hip, just because of the difference in height. Y'all get inside, and the front, there's like a very, very office-y front desk with a drow who's had a few extra sets of arms attached, rapidly moving folders and files around. Welcome to the Temple of Ishkar. How can I help you?
So, my friend here has been waiting for some additional hands, no pun intended.
They kind of stop what they're doing and give you an eyebrow raise at that remark.
There have been a number of midwives that have been dispatched to her village, and none of them have arrived. We were actually expecting another midwife today to come back with us, and they haven't arrived.
Okay, I'll get it. Caroline to the front desk. Caroline to the front desk. A long pause. Faith to the front desk. Faith to the front desk. Faith to the front desk, or we will take your arms. Begrudgingly, a midwife roughly Celestine's age comes out of the woodwork. Midwife Faith reporting for punishment, duty, ma'am.
Well, that seems like an odd response.
If a look could kill, you would be dead. Let's get this over with. I heard you're a ride.
I am. But I'd like to ask why you're hesitant to...
Oh, I don't know. Be stationed out in the middle of nowhere. No friends, no family. Be stuck out there for years. No hope of returning.
You can make friends at the village. You might even make a family at the village.
Very unhappily, she goes, let's go. The front doesn't really stop. Make it easier on you. There is an official Vermissian entrance. 4 doors down, 2 to the left, up 3 sets of stairs. Knock on the 17th door to the right 13 times, then go through the door behind you.
Okay. I'm sorry. I follow the instructions I've been given.
And when you open that door, a entrance to the Vermissian appears.
Okay. I instruct, was it Faith?
Yes, Faith.
And Celestina. Grab a hold, and I hold my arms out.
They grab
Do
on.
not let go. Do not let go.
Okay. They both listen, and I need you to roll me a d6.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
that bodes well.
As you wander through the Vermissian and get to those rougher areas, the old person you spoke to was right. That anchor charm seems to hold you down a bit better, as reality itself tumbles past you. But when you get to the door that you expect to take you back to the temple, you are instead plopped in a forest clearing at night. There's 2 roads meeting under a tree. Sitting under that tree is a human. In all my days, 3 drow pop out of nowhere to my little crossroad? Well, consider me blessed.
Well, hello, stranger. Can you tell me where I managed to land?
Here, there, everywhere, nowhere. This is the crossroads.
Interesting.
I will give you something and set you on your way.
Oh, okay.
Use this only in your darkest hour. And he hands you a little wrapped up parcel. Do not open it until you need it.
What's your name, stranger?
I am Jacques the peddler.
Jacques. Okay. Pleasure. The name's Javon. Thank you for the gift.
You can
Now,
tell Celestine's gotten very quiet.
I take a brief glance at both my companions.
Faith is just rather annoyed. Celestine is like scared. And-
I lay a hand on one of her wrists and give her a slight nod to let her know that it's okay.
That... I don't know if y'all have the stories, but he's our boogeyman. He's not real. He's a childhood story I was told to make me behave and not wander outside the village.
Well, fairy tales are usually based around facts. So, I'm sure it's fine.
She just kind of shakes it. Okay, let's go home. And pretty much as she says that, another door to the Vermissian appears, also very meaty.
Lovely.
In just a few seconds, y'all are in the hatchery chamber of the temple. And Ori, you would hear them come in right as you were getting up to go.
So they're here, or I hear them?
Yeah, you hear them walk in like as you get around the corner, pretty much. You start going upstairs and you hear them kind of pop out.
I look around. Show me the arms.
Ah! She kind of waves her arms in the air. Faith has all 4 arms crossed, just kind of staring at the floor.
I hold all mine up in response.
She runs over and gives you a big old 4-armed hug.
I return it.
Faith is just kind of staring at the floor. Her eyes kind of go wide when she sees the money, then she just keeps staring at the floor.
I think you'll find taking care of the hatchlings much easier. And I see you have help now as well.
Against my will. Hi, I'm Midwife Faith.
I'm midwife Ori. Unfortunately, I am not the one to be staying here.
Well, lucky you.
I kind of give her a look. It's like a mother look.
She's much younger, like you would estimate early 20s.
Yeah, give her that scolding mom look.
She just kind of glares back at you with like petulant teenage angst stare.
Mm.
They stuck me out in the middle of nowhere, no entertainment, no friends, no family. It's Celestine just kind of shuts up and says, I could be your friend if you get your head out of your backside for 10 seconds.
Ori makes that snorting laugh.
Faith is like, whatever, I'm gonna go find where I sleep. And you see her kind of stomp out.
I look at Celestine. Is there another Murphy bed down here?
No, just one. She better get cozy.
I would, I suggest her have it, and also give her the, more colicky hatchlings.
Oh, trust me. The recent feed we've been getting to prepare stuff for the hatchlings have been giving them an awful case of just some of the strangest stomach problems. So, things should be interesting. But they gave me fresh mix, and she pulls out like all these bags of like baby supplies that the temple gave her that she had hidden in her robes. Apparently they're making up for lost time. I also got a second promotion, and she pulls out her spider glaive.
That visit was well overdue.
Yep. They said that another one might be sent out in a few months, but they're short-staffed as well.
Drayvon is in the room too, right?
Yes.
I looked at Drayvon. We never had this issue in the Spire Temple, from what I can remember.
From my understanding, it's not necessarily that there's a shortage of personnel, but a shortage of willingness.
Hmm.
And you were about to head to Cornelia.
Yes, I was.
Before we head over to Cornelia,
Mhm.
I
But
pull out
that's
the poster that I require, and I hand it to Ori as we walk towards where Cornelia is at.
so, Ori, you were just handed a poster marking you as legally dead.
Well, that isn't right.
To be rounded up for correction.
I don't know why you're being targeted.
I don't know either.
You are well enough aware of Spire culture to know this is someone pretty much has put a trying to get you killed.
What did I do?
Earlier in a prior session, you made a series of tiny mistakes that revealed your cover to someone who was frustrated.
And I murdered an entire kingdom of people and no one noticed.
Cornelia's fine.
Fine for now.
Uh-oh.
So,
Well,
for the time being, there are some morticians after you.
We might need to find a disguise for you. maybe
My lower set of
Or-
hands that have been folded in front of me, I withdraw them inside of my robes.
that's a good start. But we might need to consult that book that Cornelia has. Maybe there might be a spell or a ritual we might be able to use to conceal your identity.
Y'all would know, like things y'all know about Spire, that for the entire group of morticians to check the entire Spire will take about 3.5 to 4 days. Days to cover the entire Spire. All the
Okay.
morticians. And that they do not leave the tower. Almost like probably the number of morticians that have stepped foot out of the Spire could probably be fit on one person's hand. Number of times. It is a very, very rare occurrence. But before we go any further, I think that is where we're going to call tonight. So everyone has some time to get some rest. So next time, just to kind of keep us, on track with notes. Cornelia's at school. Trayvon, Ori are at the temple.
Am I able to do my typical procession healing ritual if we're not together?
No. But I would say you took a moment, probably start of the day, to do that.
Okay.
That work for you?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay.
Woo!
You know I'm always using that free payday. What? I'm not trying to die out here. I'm murdering whole communities. I gotta take
You
what I
really
get.
are.
And that'll be all for the recorded portion, guys. I will see y'all next time.